Hello, and it's good to have you join us again on Maritime Radar. The port plays a key role in connecting nations, trades, and economies. This has a profound impact on trade volume and transport costs. However, the sector is confronted with many challenges such as new standards and modernization to achieve international best practices, especially in the areas of security, safety, environmental management, port operation and services, and ever-evolving and changes in information technology, inter- and intra-regional competition, the ever-increasing size of ships, cargo handling equipment, and traffic growth, amongst others. Africa must have the ability to cope with such rapidly advancing realities in order to benefit from trade opportunities. Assessing the recent haulage hike and the process deployed to break the hegemony of the cabals causing this high pricing, the imminent cargo diversion are some of the issues that will be on the front burner on today's show. I am Norma Obiaswa. Trade agreements hold immense potential. They also present challenges for Nigerian freight forwarders, which includes complying with various rules of origin, documentation requirements, and product standards across trade blocks. This can become complex and time-consuming. Freight forwarders must stay informed and up-to-date on the ever-changing trade regulations within these agreements to provide efficient logistic solutions to their clients. Moreover, trade agreements can influence cargo flows and demand patterns affecting the choice of transportation routes and logistics strategies. Understanding these shifts and adapting to the changing trade dynamics is vital for freight forwarders to maintain a competitive edge. Before we get further into today's lineup of the program, let's find out the latest in maritime news.
The International Monetary Fund has voiced its strong support for Nigeria's National Single Window Project, a key initiative designed to streamline trade processes and bolster government revenue. During a recent meeting, Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Edun, discussed the project with a delegation from the IMF Fiscal Affairs Department led by Marco Antonio, Technical Assistance Advisor for Revenue Administration. Edun spoke about the necessary approvals being secured and the implementation plan for the project. Marco Antonio commended the project and noted that the IMF was willing to provide further assistance to ensure its successful implementation. The government says the national single window can significantly catalyze export growth, particularly as Nigeria is on track to achieve a daily oil production of 1.2 million barrels. The collaboration between Nigeria and the IMF underscores the importance of the NSW project in enhancing the ease of doing business and driving economic development within the nation. South Korean authorities have made a historic drug seizure, uncovering an estimated 2 tons of suspected cocaine on a ship docked at the Gangneung port. This staggering haul dwarfs the previous record of 404 kilograms of methamphetamine seized in 2021, marking a significant blow to international drug trafficking networks. The discovery, a result of a joint operation by the Korea Customs Service and Coast Guard, followed a tip from the U.S. Federal Bureau of Investigation and Homeland Security Investigations. The ship started its journey in Mexico and passed through Ecuador, Panama, and China before reaching its final destination in South Korea. This unprecedented discovery highlights the growing challenge of transnational drug trafficking and underscores the vigilance required by law enforcement agencies worldwide. South Korea maintains strict drug laws with penalties ranging from a minimum of 6 months imprisonment to up to 15 years or more for repeat offenders and dealers.
Welcome back. If you are just joining us, this is Maritime Radar. The cost of clearing a 40-feet container from Apapa Port has increased to 900,000 naira, while a 20-feet container costs 400,000. This recent development, stakeholders have blamed on corruption, multiple checkpoints by government agencies, as well as activities of truck owners associations as the reasons for this hike. Transporting same container from Tinkan Island Port cost only 350,000, while same from Lekki Port cost 550,000 naira. These irregularities responsible for the high cost of haulage has been blamed on the Nigerian Ports Authority (NPA) Eto Call-up system. This situation also shows that it takes days for trucks to access the port, as it has been alleged that security agencies have formed various checkpoints and locations, including Creek Road, Eleganza, Ijora axis of the Apapa Port access road. The concerns of importers are on competitiveness and imminent cargo diversion. This we encourage. Our guest, Emeka Chukwumalu, Chairman, Apapa Chapter of the Association of Licensed Custom Agents, joins us to make a sense of the reasons for this hike, its economic impact on businesses and final consumers, plus the process deployed in breaking the hegemony of the cabals behind this high pricing. Stay with us. It's good to have you join us on the show, sir.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so let's start this conversation looking at the haulage cost that has increased significantly at Apapa Port, and so many reasons have been pointed as what is responsible for this. Talk to us, you're on ground. What is happening in Apapa Port?
Presently, we are having issues in Apapa as a result of racket concerning the truckers, because ordinarily under the clearing procedures, the tripartite arrangement of the clearing procedures, the shipping company, terminal operators, and the customs, NPA on one side, then the major player in that field is the declarants, who are the clearing agents or the freight forwarders. But the truckers who don't have stake much in clearing process, because before you go into getting the job, it is between you and the consignee. It's the consignee that knows what he's carrying in his container. He is the person that will intimate you of the job that you are going to do for him. By the time you get to a field, you have to do a lot of processes, ranging from putting your phone M, getting your PAR, coming down to do the business through examination to final releasing. All these things has to happen between custom, NPA, management, shipping company, and terminal operators. It is only when you now attach TDO to the job, that is particular container number that you are carrying, that you can now look for a trucker. But the case become the other way around, whereby maybe as a result of what I don't know, the truckers were able to get their footing through NPA to be handling Eto, thereby buying the Etos with fake.
I thought Eto the call-up is being handled by TTP Limited.
Yes, it's TTP, but NPA has a lot of role to play, because before now, until when they call a truck, that's when the truck comes into they will tell you they are ready, they will now call. But when we now do more finding, we find out that the problem is that these people hijacked the process, the truckers, through TTP. They will come up with fake truck plate numbers, both Kekena paper, both motorcycle, both car fake plate numbers. Then they will now buy plenty of this Eto and put in stock. The process of reselling it makes the cost of transportation high in Apapa. Because if you go to Tinkan, you will carry the same goods at the rate of 200, as case may be. Then if you get to maybe KLT, you carry the same goods as 150,000. You go to Lekki, you carry the same goods at 300,000.
So how much is it at? How much is it in Apapa?
Apapa is almost 800 to 1 million.
While others are carrying the same goods?
The same goods. Okay. In other places cheaper. But because of the racket that is existing between the Eto truckers and whoever. But I'm coming up with a program with other joint association chairmen, to scuttle the racket. What we are trying to do now is to train our members through TTP. By the time we finish training them, they will have the wallet, Eto wallet themselves. It's no longer going through the trucker before you can book your consignment through them. Once you have done with your TDO, which is attached to the Eto, all you needed to do through your wallet, you can now engage your transporter, who you know that is reliable. Because without the plate number attached to that Eto through TTP, you cannot enter the port. Through that way, we can decongest the access road.
Okay, a lot of things are happening around this Eto Call-up, because I had to do a report sometime on this Eto Call-up, and truckers also said their own part that I had to even investigate and all that. So a lot of things are happening, which I think MPA should really sit up and be able to identify these issues and be able to resolve it. So you are saying now that a lot of corruption, extortion, multiple point checkups of government are the reasons for this hike, which is as much as 800 to 1 million. So I know that those from Tinkan Port, those from Lekki Port, all and yours in Apapa, all of you are going to the same market. So I'm worried about competitiveness, because if you clear your own at 800 or 1 million, another person clears at 200. So what competition is going to happen when you go to the market? So how is this affecting your business, and how will it fall back at the final consumers?
Yes, when you clear your cargo at high cost, it's only the final consumers that bear the brunt. Because there is no way you clear your goods at high price that you now not put back the cost of the clearing into the product before you sell. Because we have to make what we call a game margin. You understand? So that is the cause of the problem. And as it is now, we are trying to see through this training to see that we can bring it down to, bareless minimum, so that people that are doing business in Apapa, we enjoy the similar things other people are enjoying in other command that is not Apapa, and thereby retaining our customers. Because by the time your customer is giving you goods from Tinkan and another one is giving you from Apapa, you find out that after doing business with Tinkan, you will not have any cost to come to Apapa, because the cost of transportation is cheaper. So nobody will want to... So
is that competitiveness I'm worried about? Because if you buy your... I know that whatever it is that is the cost will fall back to final consumers. Yes. But now there's even an issue of competitiveness, because you are clearing at 800 or 1 million and the other person is clearing at 200. So how do you merge this? How do you recoup this huge margin to even talk about even falling back at the final consumers? And what are you doing as clearing agents to be able to address these issues? What is the role of MPA in all this? What's the role of TTP Limited? What's the role of customs in addressing these issues? Because what we also see, aside from the hike to the final consumers, is also diversion of cargoes to neighboring countries, which is what we've been even experiencing. Then this will worsen it. Are you worried about all this?
Yes, I'm worried. That was why I told you before now that we have engaged TTP to come and train our teaming members. That's another way of eliminating that high cost of clearance from Apapa, especially in the area of transportation. Then, as regards to MPA you mentioned, we have already engaged MPA. MPA have agreed to attach the TDO, okay, to all the cargo.
Okay.
Because once you have container number NPKS, for instance, 1345, if it is attached to one plate number with that Eto, no other person can carry that goods except that particular truck. Except in the case where we have a exigency, we can come back and look at it and say, okay, because there is a exigency, either breakdown of truck, you can now bring in another truck to carry that one so that you utilize the same Eto. Otherwise, no truck that is not bearing Eto attached to TDO will come into the port and carry the goods. So with the arrangement of MPA agreeing with us to attach TDO to Eto, we are going to eliminate middlemen who are causing that problem. So that racket that is enriching them will stop henceforth, and everything is going to come to normal.
So you think this training is going to finally resolve this issue?
Yes, because through the training, they are going to have their own TDO in their wallet.
Okay.
Because by the time you have your TDO in your wallet, you will have the bargaining power. But by the time you get to TTP, you don't have any business of maybe somebody exploiting you. It's you now that will determine who will carry your goods. You have to go and look at the truck and know all the healthy trucks that you have to give your TDO, and that is final.
In the midst of all this, what is the place of the truckers now? What is going to happen to their business and all that in all this moving forward that you have eliminated here?
No, we are not eliminating them. We are not eliminating them out of business.
Okay.
What we are trying to do is for us to have a level playing ground. That if you go to Tinkan and carry goods at 200,000, for instance, if you come to Apapa, you carry the same goods at 200,000. Nobody is taking them out of the business. And remember, before custom licensed us as a licensed custom agent, we were given as precondition that you must have a truck.
Oh, okay.
So many, about 70% of our members, that is clearing agents, have their trucks.
Oh.
It is out of our own magnanimity that we
you are
are
even giving
to truckers.
Okay.
But we know they are in to do business. We cannot do it alone. The port is a very big place that can accommodate a lot of people. It's a big community. So we are not sending truckers away. But we are saying that they will play according to the rule. Because we are being regulated. We don't see where they are being regulated. Before you come into the port to do business, you must have license from custom, and you must have license from MPA. Then you must have to register with shipping company. That is the only thing that will permit you to operate within the port community. But their own, if you ask them, they will say they have their driver's license, which is not enough. And I'm concerned about security, because many a times when you use fake truck number to get Eto, by the time the truck comes out of the port, they now change the plate number to original. So peradventure something happened in the course of delivering that goods, you will not know who you hold responsible. Because if you get to MPA, they will give the original plate number.
Which is the bike or keke plate number.
Which is the fake plate number. And the original one has gone. If eventually they go and sell the goods, you can't trace that goods. So that's why we are worried, and that is part of the reason why all of us within the maritime industry, who are the chairman of the various associations, come together to say, no, enough is enough. Let us change the narratives and bring in innovation that will make everybody who are involved in the maritime business to handle their business and take their fate by their hand, and not somebody dictating for them.
Okay, this is it only ANLCA or other clearing agent like NAGAF? Everyone is involved.
Yes, everybody will.
But we will look at this answer.
Everybody is involved.
We will check this answer and the port competitiveness and the hike, 15% hike introduced by MPA. But that would be after the short break. Please stay with us. Welcome back. If you are just joining us, this is Maritime Read, and I still have with me Emeka Chukwumalu. He is the chairman, Apapa Chapter of Association of Nigerian Licensed Custom Agents, also known as ANLCA. Before we went on that break, you were talking about the solutions that you have come up with to ensure that this hike is curbed. So I'm asking, is it only ANLCA that is in this, or you have also involved other clearing agents associations in this drive?
Yeah, apart from the fact that ANLCA is the mother association in the port, as lead agency, we still have to achieve good result with all other sister agencies. So both ANLCA, NAGAF, Council of Managing Directors, and all other accredited associations are involved in this. It's not only ANLCA's are here, because it's not only ANLCA that is doing work in the port, but all the declarants, because whether you are in ANLCA, whether you are in NAGAF, whether you are in Council of Managing Director, whether you are IFA, the only thing that permits you to operate in the port is all these licenses that I mentioned: MPA license, Nigerian custom license permit, that will allow you to operate in the port. Outside this, you cannot come to the port and operate. And it's based on corporate organization. It's not an individual thing. So all of us are involved.
Okay, let's look at the Nigerian port that stakeholder says is not competitive. Then, which is now encouraging cargo diversion to neighboring countries. Then we now see this recent implementation of 15% tariff hike by MPA. What do you think this is going to do to the port? It's already not competitive, then the introduction of a 15% hike. What are your thoughts on this?
That we are still engaging MPA, because I knew quite well that many cargo have left Nigeria to Cotonou and other places. And clearing goods in those places are far cheaper now compared to here. And we will continue to lose revenue. It's not good for the country. So by the time government start looking for money, you understand, they will now continue to increase revenue generation for custom. And it become impossible for the importers to import, because it's only when they have level playing ground that they will import and make gain from their import. But if they discourage import, some of them will go into industrialization. Some of them might even go into hotel business and other businesses that will not allow them to always looking for dollar to do import. So they have to look for something that they are going to source locally to sustain their life. So we are still engaging with MPA, and I believe through serious engagement, they are going to renege on that 15% increase, because it's going to discourage a lot of people.
So do you think the timing is right, or is it the timing that is the issue, or that is not necessary at all? I mean, this hike.
The timing now is wrong, because we are looking at the situation in the country. The situation in the country is very bad, let me put it that way, and people are trying to cope. If you introduce something again that will put more pressure on the people, it becomes more killing. So to me, the timing is not good. It's only when we have put everything in place. If we introduce something, people key into it, and the people are making living out of it, then nobody will complain. But as it is now, people are trying to find their footing because of the economic hardship. So it's not the right time now. So that's why I say we'll continue to engage them to see if they can renege.
Okay, and still on this competition, so what do you think, as a stakeholder, as a player, government should do now to ensure that, you mentioned Cotonou, Ghana, you could see the cost, the disparity is so huge. So what do you think government should be doing now to ensure that at least we are competitive amongst even West African countries, the ports of West African countries?
I'm looking at it that from my own perspective, that government should reduce the cost of cargo clearance in Nigeria. If peradventure the Cotonou people can bring goods in less than 10 million naira, okay? Nigeria government should do equally something that will encourage Nigerians to stop smuggling their goods into the country.
Because at the end of the day, if they still clear it in those places, they still find a way back. So we are losing.
So that's why I call it smuggling. So it's better that maybe Nigerians should look at how they are going to reduce the cost of clearing, maybe below 8 million, so that at least we have consistency. Because when you do what we call economic consideration, you have more vessels in Nigeria, we have more revenue. But if you concentrate on administrative concern, automatically by the time you finish with one vessel, you remain where you are, you cannot meet up with target, and at the same time, you are losing revenue. Other neighboring countries who did not suffer for it will now be gaining. So for us to have it as a win-win something, let them discourage people from going to neighboring countries to clear where we have people that are here looking for job. Let them create avenue for more employment by reducing the cost of clearing. Once the cost of clearing is reduced, people will be encouraged to return back to Nigeria and do more business in Nigeria.
I must thank you for your time and your thoughts on the show, and I hope that these solutions that you have provided here will be able to address this hike now before it gets out of hand. And I hope that government is doing what they should do to ensure that Nigerian ports are competitive with other ports in West Africa. Thank you very much for your time and your thoughts on the show. It's been Emeka Chukwumalu. He is the chairman of Apapa Port of Association of Nigerian Licensed Custom Agents, ANLCA. Thank you very much once again. We'll put our eye on what is happening and look forward that these issues will be resolved.
Thank you very much.
And that's our show this week. I hope that this assessment and solutions profile will be able to break this hegemony and reduce the high pricing for Nigeria's economic growth. Join us every week on Maritime Radar as we explore potentials that will ensure the development of the maritime sector in Africa. You can also expect the latest in global and local maritime news plus industry insights right here. I am Norma Obiaswala. Many thanks for your time and see you again next week.